Alright, this is a test. New setup. Filming here with the Canon R50 using my 10-18mm, I guess wide angle lens. And I'm going to just do a little test inking here. Inking this page. I was, by the way, filming this with manual mode on the camera with a resolution of 30 frames per second, 1/60th shutter speed, and I do have the HDR-PQ turned off. So the first thing I want to do is I simply just want to ink in the border for this panel. It is a splash page, so it's pretty easy. Nothing complicated here. Get a little zoomed in here. Oops. You can see where I'm going. So, taking our Faber-Castell inking pen. Getting a nice solid dark line there. And I ink the bottom portion of the panel. Also, I'm switching back to where I have a dedicated drawing station. So this is not at my computer, my normal computer setup. I'm going back to a dedicated spot because it was just a pain in the butt, quite honestly, to go back and forth between setting up, you know, the different things I had to set, the different things I had to set up to accommodate that setup, the setup of the setup. So, and this ruler is not long enough. So let me get need a longer ruler to rule out an entire panel like that. 11 by 17. So we're switching over to the 18-inch steel rule here. This bad boy here will let me go to full length. So since this is a splash page, I'm just going to ink in a bounding border here, because what ends up happening when you ink this for a full page spread is the live area, you're not going to see this line that I'm ruling in here in the live area. It will not be in the final, but it makes for just like a nice piece. And I know how that works because back in the day, I bought a few original artwork from, you know, the now defunct Cross-Gen Comics. Does anyone remember Cross-Gen Comics? I was a huge fan of them, as I'm sure there are a couple of viewers here who remember them. But they were like kind of like a sci-fi fantasy adventure publisher. At least their titles were kind of in that area, but in those arenas or genres. But the main thing was that, you know, they were cool comics, but they were actually being written and drawn by a lot of industry pros back in the day. And I want to say this is maybe like late 90s, 2000s when Cross-Gen came on scene. And I bought some original artwork from a couple of different series that I followed that I really liked, one of which was Scion. So I've got some original artwork penciled by Jim Chung. And just beautiful work. I forget who the inker is. Don't remember who the inker is. And also Brandon Peterson from Mystic. Just, you know, really enjoyed that title. So I have some original artwork of his as well. A few artboards actually. And there's at least, I think, 1 or 2 panels where when something was bleeding off the page, the finished artwork itself was just very neatly put together. So like these trim marks were inked, So that way it was like a clear indicator. And I think, you know, when I scan this and I blow away all the blue lines, when I remove all the blue lines, you know, during the digital scanning process, that it's going to help me to see where the trims are and how to position this page in the, you know, when I go to letter it and when I go to eventually put it into the InDesign document, which is building the actual comic book document itself, which we'll see print. This artwork, these little trim marks I'm putting in here, inking in here over the blue line on the artboard here, are critical aspects of what is needed to make the finished artwork just complete and very thorough, as I like to say. So yeah, this was the purpose of this one video here. This is just a test of a new setup. And here's the page. I'll get to inking this pretty soon. But yeah, this is my new setup here. I'll have to do a shot away from this setup so you can see what I'm talking about. Here. All right, here's my camera setup here for when I draw. Filming here whenever I want to make these videos. This is my rig here. You can see part of my studio here in the background. I'm shooting with the Canon R50. And to ensure that I can see what the image looks like, of course, there's a flip out screen, which is kind of hard to see when I'm drawing, but I actually have this monitor off to the side that just went out. But you can see that if let's see if I can hit the button on that, reactivate it, or make it live again so the input is showing through, I can get this back on here. So yeah, there's that. There's the artwork. And here's my setup going back to this original drawing table here. Anyway, it's a quick one. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.